In the news, the President MUHAMMADU BUHARI says the welfare of Nigeria's police personnel remains his regime's priority. The federal government to change Federal Inland Revenue Service (FIRS) to Nigerian Revenue Service (NRS), says the Minister of Finance, Budget and Economic Planning. U.S. Capitol accused former President Donald Trump of a multi-part conspiracy over 6 January attack. Nigeria earned 2022 35th in the world, 5th in Africa in the latest monthly FIFA ranking released by the world governing body. This is the MLC TV News Hour, reaching you live from the city of Lokoja, the confluent state of Nigeria. I am Matthias Ayodeji Peter. Good day. The President MUHAMMADU BUHARI said the welfare of Nigeria's over 318,000 police personnel remains his regime's priority. While noting that accommodation remains a major challenge, he said officers and men of the force would be motivated to perform their duties when their families live in decent houses and have adequate health coverage. According to a statement by a senior special assistant on media and publicity, Garba Shehu, the president spoke when he received the 2021 audited report and 2023 budget proposal of the Police Service Commission at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. The statement quoted Buhari as saying this administration has made the welfare of police officers and men a priority and police reform a sacred duty. Emphasizing the importance of quality welfare in effective service delivery, the president added that he knows that when officers and men are posted on duty or assignments and they know that their families live in barracks with facilities, schools, clinic and a conducive living environment, their morale will be boosted and they will discharge their duties with courage and efficiency. While assuring the acting chairman of the PSA that their request would be considered, Buhari said dwindling resources arising from a fall in crude oil price and local production posed a major challenge which the present regime had to contend with. Presenting the 2021 audited report and the 2023 budget proposal to the president, the commission's acting chairman, Justice Clara Ogunbiyi, retired, commended the Buhari-led government for always upholding the rule of law. The federal government has declared Monday and Tuesday, December 26 and 27, 2022 as holidays to mark the celebration of Christmas and Boxing Day celebration. Also, January 2, 2023 was declared a work-free day to celebrate the new year. The Minister of Interior, Rauf Aregbesola, in a statement by the ministry's permanent secretary, Shaibu Balgore, urged Nigerians to pray for an end to insecurity in the country. The minister called on Nigerians to avoid anything capable of disrupting the 2023 elections. The Minister of Finance, Budget and Economic Planning, Zainab Ahmed, appeared before the Senate Committee on Finance to defend the amendments proposed in the 2022 Finance Act, which was recently sent to the National Assembly by President MUHAMMADU BUHARI. The amendments to the Finance Act are expected to be passed with the 2023 Appropriation Bill, which is expected to be considered and passed next week. The Finance Bill is the fourth in the series that seeks to complement the budget cycle of January to December that was re-established with the 2020 Appropriation Act by the 9th Assembly. Briefing the panel, the minister highlighted the key provisions in the Finance Act 2022 to include the change of the name of the Federal Inland Revenue Service (FRSC) to the Nigeria Revenue Service (NRS). She said it also included the reorganization of the board of the FIRS by separating the executive management from the board. The chairman of the Senate panel, Solomon Adiola, while welcoming the minister, explained that the bill generally seeks to review and possibly amend sections of existing legislations on revenue for the nation. He said the intent of these amendments is not only for generating increased revenue for the government, but also providing clarity, removing ambiguities, providing succor for deserving persons and sectors, as well as bringing the law up to speed with global best practices. The people across the 21 polling units of 022 ward in Okene local government area have commended the deeds of Barrister LADI JATTO, the project coordinator Agro-Climatic Resilience in Semi-Arid Landscapes, for our continuous support for the society. The commendation came when Barrister LADI donated hundreds of various food items and cash for the people within our locality. Barrister JATTO, who was represented at the program by Miriam Usman Yaya, said it pleases her to see people happy. She called on the people to get their PVC and exercise their civic rights. Our reporter has more.
Barrister LADI JATTO distributed hundreds of bags of rice and vegetable oil. The people who gathered in large numbers commended her for generosity towards them. They said her continuous support for both young and old men and women in society cannot be overemphasized.
Abana me ya ne muri asila fi oche wa se meza. Abele ma mele huna so na he. Iso okay as can yansin. Ye ba mirenyi. Muri osele.
I'm very grateful. Barrister LADI strive for us in water. Even recently, he bring one borehole for Idare. That the borehole is functional now. Many boreholes were presented by her beds.
She has been done the time of 18, but we appreciate it today that he recognized Otutu word. We thank her.
Beneficiaries prayed to God to protect her principal, the governor of Kogi State, Yahya Bello, who has appointed her in the capacity of project coordinator, New Map, and now ACCUSE. They said Barrister LADI JATTO made sure Agasa Gully erosion site and Ozuri in Adavi local government area were addressed. They equally requested that she should plead to the governor to address the devastating gully erosion of Etahi.
By God's grace, we deliver all Otutu word for His Excellency for APC. Both Senator, Rep, Assembly, by God's grace, we deliver it for him. But we still get some small challenging in our ward, which is our road is not good.
On her side, Barrister LADI JATTO said her position is such that she cannot do without touching lives, and that she will continue to extend support to the people. Her representative at the event, who delivered her message, Mariam Usman Yahya, said the project coordinator, Kogi State Agroclimate Resilience in Semi-Arid Landscapes, ACCUSE, Barrister LADI Ahmed JATTO, has, in the spirit of the Yuletide, reached out to 400 people across the 20 polling units in Otutu ward of Okene local government area of Kogi Central, and has called on them to collect their PVC and make sure they come out in their numbers to vote for the All Progressives Congress APC candidates, so that all the good works the APC government has done and is doing will continue.
She's only trying to touch people's life. She loves putting smiles into people's face, especially her father's land. That is exactly what she's doing. And she has asked that to encourage them to go outside and collect their PVC so that during the time of election, all of them, they can vote for. He's just doing it because she is God sent.
Barrister LADI thanked the governor of Kogi State for providing the platform to touch lives positively. She begged youth not to allow themselves to be used as agents of violence. Barrister LADI urged them to say no to violence, no to vote buying, and no to backwardness. Report filed by Abdulmutalib Dauda. I am Khadijat Mohammed, reporting for MLC TV.
The Challenge Parenthood Initiative, with the support of key individuals, has procured and donated 5 wheelchairs and a freezer to people living with physical challenges within the state capital, Lokoja. The chief executive of CPI, Eunice Abimbola Abogun, commended the donor Professor Olubenro Jegede and Paul Ukwenya, owner of Lounge 1 Lokoja. She calls for more donors to see the need of the people around them and meet them, saying if people who have could meet the needs of the less privileged, the nation will become a haven for all. Our reporter Faith Abdulgafar has more.
The Chief Executive Director of Challenged Parental Initiative, in collaboration with some stakeholders in the state, procured and donated 5 wheelchairs and a freezer to people living with disabilities in Lokoja. Professor Olugbemiro Jegede said there is a disability in every individual and there is ability in disability if helped with the necessary support.
The fact that they have these disabilities does not mean they are not able to do many more things. Absolutely. All they need is to move around. And once they can move around, they can sort themselves out. The very first thing is to be able to move. I mean, just like us. You need to be able to move to do anything. As they say in the traditional sense, that no dance or any dance you must dance begins with your hands. Yeah. Think about it. Any dance you want to do begins with your hands. And so any other movement you want to do, apart from that, begins with your feet. So once that is sorted out, they can now go ahead and do whatever. They can start their businesses. They can do whatever. They can go to school. But they just need to go, as the chairman said, to point A to point B.
Jegede noted that what prompted him to do what he has done is to commemorate the memory of his late mother.
I decided to give 4 wheelchairs that we can manage, and 1 was given out yesterday, and the remaining 3 here today, but we have two. The other person will get it. So it's all to commemorate the departure from this fallen world of our mother, and to wish everybody well, and also to use this as a way of appealing to families and individuals, organizations who have the wherewithal to remember people with disabilities.
Eunice Agbogo thanks the donors for their contributions and call for more collaborations.
We want to sincerely say a very big thank you to Professor Olugbemiro Jegede, who has demonstrated his love in this season of Christmas to the persons with disability by providing them an alternative for them to be able to move. We are calling on well-meaning co-guides and Nigerians to emulate this good gesture. We know there are a lot of people who are, who have the ability to support others. And so we are using this very good example to also call on others to emulate this so we can continue to give life and put smile on the faces of the less privileged.
Saratu Abdurrahim received a deep freezer.
Some time ago, we saw Saratu crawling on the street, and we did try out to well-meaning co-guides and Nigerians to support us so as to provide her with an aid to get her off the streets crawling. And we were able to get a well-meaning co-guide in person of Honorable Paul, the MD of Lounge 1, who's aided her with a wheelchair and also gave her a startup capital of 50,000 naira to start up her business. However, we did had a discussion with her to ask what exactly she thinks she can do, and she said even on her wheelchair she can do little business. If she has a deep freezer, she will be selling water and drinks, and today, with the support of other partners, in person of Professor Olugbemiro Jegede and also the owner of Lounge 1, Honorable Paul, we have been able to purchase Saratu with a deep freezer to empower her and also to enable her start up her business.
The chairman of the PLWD, Aroma Ibrahim, with two beneficiaries, thanks the donor and commended the executive director of CPI.
Disability without mobility is what disabled us. If not, what we are faced with in life is just an impairment. But if you don't have a mobility, if the environment are not friendly, you become totally disabled. Today, the word disabled have been taken away from these people. What they can be facing from now is just their impairment. They can carry out the activity with this mobility like any other person in the society. So on behalf of persons with disabilities in KOGI State, we say thank you to Professor, and we also say thank you to the mommy who has been the ladder linking us with so many people to wipe our tears, and God will bless you the more.
I feel so happy and speechless. I don't know what to say. So I just want to say thank you all, and may God bless them for attending to us and also hearing our cry. So I just want to say thank you, and may the good Lord bless them.
I also appreciate my chairman who make the way for me to get this opportunity. I greet our professor with our mommy who make us get this thing, so may God bless them.
The CPI has promised to empower one of the beneficiaries along the Government House Road with startup capital to discourage her from begging on the streets. Faith Abdugafar reporting from MLC TV.
The president of Stand Up for Women's Society SWS, Barrister Deborah Ijadili Adetono, celebrates with Christian faithful around the world. She said as Christmas symbolizes the demonstration of God's love that He gave His only begotten Son Jesus Christ to come to this world to show us the way and to give us salvation from all troubles, she then admonishes Christians to toe the line of love at this Christmas by showing love to one another and the people at their neighborhood. Love is God, and he who loves his neighbor as himself has obeyed God, because God is love, she said. This is made public through the SWS National Public Relations Officer, Billy Nwogu. Barrister Jadili Adetono urged people to celebrate by giving gifts and helping hands to positively touch somebody else at this season. She quoted from the book of Matthew 25, verse 34 to 36, which encouraged the act of giving, saying only those who give can receive blessing from God. Barrister Adetono used the occasion to appreciate all SWS national and state executives and members across the 36 states, including the FCT. She urged them to continue to touch lives through their various intervention programs that have accumulated over the years and are testified among the people in societies. In conclusion, the SWS president called on registered voters to go collect their PVC, saying that it is the only power to elect leaders that will be leading the entire country for another 4 years. She also called on politicians to caution their followers and supporters to avoid anything capable of causing violence in the country. Adetono also kicked against hate speech and the spreading of fake news, saying these tools are capable of destroying a nation. Reactions trail as Christmas draws nearer. People lament over the hike in the cost of perishable and non-perishable foodstuff in the market. Our reporter who visited Lokongoma Markets Lokoja to observe how buyers and sellers feel tells us more.
Buyers and sellers at Lokongoma Market lament over the sudden hike of commodities in the market. The sellers said it may be as a result of the high cost of diesel and petrol that has made transportation of goods and commodities double its cost. They also tied it to security challenges in some states.
And everything they increase. We dey buy last year, how much you buy? 20,000. This year now 33,000 naira. And then no market. Now so you go buy, now so you go sit down. Sit down, they look road. Now fuel you come be matter. Say if you want go old market now, before na 30 naira, 15 naira. Now they go tell you 150, 100 naira. Now the person when you get peace of mind, they go say me carry you 100 naira. If you go tell say 150 because of waiting, because of fuel.
How much last year?
7,000, 8,000.
How much this year?
This year 15,000.
For this basket?
For this basket. We dey buy cost and we no market, we no sell. Wallahi. But just they manage the market.
How last year market be to this?
Last year we better pass this year too.
If you buy something, you no get money, make it sell am. You go spoil, the money go finish.
What we are buying last year, we are not buying it now. Formerly, when we go to market, when we go to anything, we buy last market. Now people will be here. You will see people who fill the market. When they say today is 21 of December, you will see people have already come. But now, look at it now. When you people come now, did you see anybody in the market? Because there's no money.
They call on the government to come up with price control, just like in the old days.
See where to go take the day well, they eat well. I beg, when I reduce everything, I beg, small, no be saying how much like that. So that everybody go happy, enjoy, eat well. At least if you hospital bill cost, food and test is not supposed to be cost for us. I beg, when I reduce something, especially our food stuff, when I reduce them very well, I beg. It's very, very bad. At least the farmers, when I reduce something for us, so that people where they buy for us, may they see, buy a chop.
We don't need to government make food down for the person now. The people where they suppose government make help them, they. You too know now. You know say the thing now, it cost past last year. You understand? The last year the price is no reach like that now. So now anything is still the how, it still they go off. It still they go off. So now so the thing have now.
On the part of the buyers, they said they were shocked over how the cost of things did not only double but triple the cost of buying without concrete reasons.
Often during Yuletide periods, price often skyrockets. But this time around, I think it's kind of higher, probably because of fuel scarcity and the increase in price as well. So I think it's not balanced enough. The partakers and the parties involved in sales and production should try to make some level of discussions, then come out with a way to help the final consumers, because it's taking its toll on us and it's very bad.
It's much to my surprise anyway. Things are overly expensive. The prices of everything, the prices have doubled and some have even tripled in the space of a few months. Last year we used to have some things, we used to be able to afford some things. Right now we cannot even afford them. Basically, I think it's a collective effort of the government because this is all-round inflation. And if it's not taken care of, the common man will not be able to afford the basic things we need anymore.
They also pray for a soft landing into the new year 2023. The market visited is Lokongoma and Pata markets. Report filed by Richard Teluyemi. I am Khadijat Mohammed, reporting for MLC TV.
The Central Bank of Nigeria has defended the cash withdrawal limit policy, insisting that it was not targeted at vulnerable people. Defending the policy while appearing before the House of Representatives, the Deputy Governor, Financial System Stability (CBN), Aisha Ahmad, declared that Nigeria could operate a cashless economy, noting that about 94% of cash withdrawals through personal accounts were less than the revised 500,000 naira per week, while 82% of those via corporate accounts were less than 5 million naira. The Apex Bank had informed the House that Emefiele would not appear before the House in person. Rather, Ahmad would lead the Committee of Governors before the lawmakers. In a presentation to the House, the CBN Deputy Governor also noted that while some critics had expressed fear about the lack of commercial branches, especially in rural areas, data obtained by the CBN showed that people in remote locations had embraced online banking options. Ahmad also announced that CBN ordered 500 million notes of the redesigned 200 naira, 500 naira, 1000 naira denominations through the Nigerian Security Printing and Minting PLC. And now on politics. The spokesperson of Tinubu Shetima and Atiku Okowa presidential campaign councils berated the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, for asking aged candidates to retire from the race for the 2023 elections. Obi had said this at his presidential rally in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State, that weak and aging presidential candidates should have no business running for an important office like the presidency. According to him, he could not imagine being represented by anyone at a rally that has something to do with his mission to render service. He further emphasized that the task of rescuing Nigeria from total collapse requires the physical energy of a vibrant candidate who can get the job done seamlessly. Reacting to his statement, the spokesperson of the Atiku Okowa presidential campaign, Frank Shaibu, said age does not represent capacity. Speaking with journalists, Shaibu said at 61, Obi shouldn't be referring to himself as a youth either. The spokesman for Tinubu Shetima Presidential Campaign Council, Festus Keyamo, also carpeted the former Anambra State Governor, saying he is showing a sign of desperation. The presidential candidate of the All Progressive Congress, Bola Tinubu, has promised entrepreneurs that if elected, he would reposition Nigeria for greater opportunities and development of its citizens. He also promised to work towards enhancing the security situation in the country to allow entrepreneurs to have an enabling environment to do their businesses. Tinubu made the pledge at a business luncheon with business owners in Lagos. The luncheon, entitled Business Forward, was held at the Wings located on Victoria Island. On the issue of fuel subsidy, he said if elected, he would take bold decisions that would turn the nation's economy around. He said Nigeria will not continue to subsidize fuel consumption in neighboring countries. Tinubu told his audience that upon assuming office as president, he would move to implement several measures. The Accord Party's presidential candidate, Professor Christopher Imomolen, has advanced reasons why he would embark on wholesale reforms in the country's civil service if elected Nigeria's president next year. Imomolen, in a statement by his media team, said reforming the civil service would help achieve any president deliver on his or her mandate optimally. He added that the success or failure of any government depends on the civil service, and as such, his topmost priority when elected will be to reform the civil service. We go on a short break now. We'll be right back.
Get human interest stories right here on MLC TV with entertainment, sports, business, culture, tourism, and fashion news stories all featured on MLC TV. Not forgetting political and current affairs news, state and federal government and people's matters will be discussed regularly on MLC TV. MLC TV, your one-stop online destination for unbiased, accurate news, entrepreneur ideas, and youth matters to the rest of the world. MLC TV, reaching everywhere, informing everyone.
Welcome back. And now on foreign. The congressional panel investigating last year's attack on the U.S. Capitol has accused former President Donald Trump of a multi-part conspiracy to overturn his election defeat 3 months earlier. The panel has released its final 845-page report on the attack. It places the blame for the 6th January 2021 storming of Congress squarely on the former president. It also recommends barring Trump from public office in the future. Trump did not cooperate with the panel and declared the final report a witch hunt after its release. Over 18 months, the committee held 10 public hearings and interviewed more than 1,000 witnesses, including Trump administration officials and staff, Trump family members, Capitol police officers, rioters, militia members, and more. On Monday, the panel of 7 Democrats and 2 Republicans recommended the Justice Department to investigate Trump, who is mounting another White House campaign, for aiding an insurrection and 3 other federal crimes. The Democratic chairman of the Select Committee, Benny Thompson of Mississippi, wrote in a foreword to the 8th chapter report that it was once unimaginable the President of the United States would incite a mob to march on the Capitol. A Navy officer has been named by the Gambia's government as the alleged ringleader of a failed coup plot. Lance Corporal Sana Fadera had been detained along with 4 other officers in an operation underway since Tuesday, a statement said. The main opposition party and the West African Regional Bloc condemned the attempted coup. A retired military officer said he doubted the plot was serious as all the officers were juniors. The government statement said that loyalist troops were still searching for 2 alleged accomplices following the arrest of officers from the Navy, military police, state guards, and 1st Infantry battalions. Life has continued as normal in the capital, Banjul, since the government said that it had foiled a coup plot the previous day. The Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, condemned the attempted coup, saying the regional body stands firmly by President Adama Barrow's government. Meanwhile, the campaign manager of the main opposition party, Momodo Sabali, has been detained by police over a widely circulated TikTok video which suggests that Barrow would be unseated before next year's local government elections. The police statement did not link Sabali, who was a presidential affairs minister in former leader Yahya Jammeh's regime, to alleged coup plot. Sabali's United Democratic Party, UDP, said it condemned without any reservation the attempted coup. It also demanded Sabali's immediate release, saying the short edited video did not accurately reflect his views. And for our sports update, let's join Jonah Malik.
And on sports updates, Nigeria dropped 3 places in the latest monthly FIFA ranking released on Thursday by the world governing football body. The 3-time African champions dropped 3 places from 32nd to 35th position in the world after failing to win their 2 friendly matches against Portugal and Algeria. The Eagles also moved 1 step down from 4th position to 5th position in Africa. The Atlas Lions of Morocco displaced Senegal to become the best African side. The Teranga Lions of Senegal dropped to 2nd position with Tunisia remaining in the 3rd position, while the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon jumped to 4th position. Newly crowned world champions Argentina are now ranked 2nd, with Brazil maintaining the top position, while France, Belgium and England make up the top 5 teams in the world. Still on sports, the chairman of the Interim Management Committee of the Nigerian Professional Football League, Benga Elegbeleye, has confirmed that the 2022-2023 league season will kick off on January 8, 2023 in an average format, with the draws for the league built for December 28. The new kickoff date was agreed upon during a meeting between the IMC and the club representatives in Abuja on Wednesday. He also affirmed that the IMC will work out take-off grants for clubs, but dispelled reports that a fee had been agreed upon. Zambia has appointed former Chelsea, West Ham and Ghana manager Avram Grant to take charge of their national team. The Israeli has agreed a 2-year contract, the Football Association of Zambia FAS announced on Thursday. Grant has previous experience managing in Africa, having led Ghana to the final at the 2015 African Cup of Nations. Grant will be tasked with reviving the ailing fortunes of the 2012 African Cup of Nations winner, the Chipolopolo of Zambia. Grant's first game will be at home to Lesotho in March, a qualifier for the 2023 African Cup of Nations held in Ivory Coast. And straight to Europe, the draw for the quarterfinals of this season Carabao Cup was announced on Thursday night. Manchester United knocked out holders Liverpool by 3-2 and will now travel to Southampton in the next round. Their city rivals Manchester United will welcome Charlton Athletic, while Leicester City go away to Newcastle United. The last 8 fixtures will be played the week commencing January 9th, 2023. And that's sport update on MLC TV News. I am Ali General reporting. Back to Akasta for more stories.
Thanks for the updates, Jonah. And on entertainment, popular Nigerian comedian Basket Mouth has announced the end of his 12-year marriage to his wife, Elsie. The comedian shared the heartbreaking news on his Instagram page. He wrote that the decision was made after several deliberations by him and his wife and appealed to the public to respect their privacy at this time. He also noted that he and his wife will continue to work together to give their children the best care while they navigate other aspects of their lives separately. The comedian and his entrepreneur wife Elsie met in 2003. At that time, Basket Mouth had gone to the University of Lagos, which happens to be Elsie's school, to promote his first big show titled Basket Mouth Uncensored. Rave of the moment and the most in-demand Afrobeat artist of 2022, Asake dazzled fans on the first day of his headline show at Flytime Fest, Lagos. The gorgeously decorated hall of the Eco Hotel was filled to capacity with VVIP and VIPs all in place in comfortable positions and chairs. The sold-out show was the first day of Asake's headlining performance at the Flytime Fest, and it was the most electrifying concert as Asake dazzled fans with a selection of his hit songs. The show started right on time at 10 p.m. with different emerging artists warming the crowd. Star disc jockeys DJ T-Gaps and DJ Obi also thrills the fans with their mixes. Nigerian-American singer Rotimi also performed as he delivered some of his classic and new hits. Asake took to the stage at the stroke of midnight, opening his set with a sonorous performance of its hit single, Doll. Asake, an alternate sound band, then proceeded to deliver multiple hit songs that had the audience singing along before he took a break midway into the show to have a 1-minute silence in honor of those who lost their lives at the stampede that occurred at his show in Bristol Arena, London. Asake brought out his label mate, Fireboy, with whom he performed Bandana, which turned out to be one of the highlights of the night. After 1 hour and 30 minutes of a captivating performance, Asake wrapped up the show with his single Joa, while being assisted by the collection of colorful dressed backup dancers. Fans who attended the show left satisfied and eager for the second day. The remains of a staff of the Ministry of Information and Communication, a public relations officer of the ministry, as well as a member of the Nigeria Union of Women Journalists, KOGI State Chapter, Rose Uchola, has been committed to murder earth in her hometown in Anawo Unali in Ibaji local government area. The staff of the Ministry of Information and Communications, members of NAWAJ, family and friends accompanied the children to pay their last respects to the late Rose. Rose Uchola died at the age of 55. Our reporter has more.
Members of the Ministry of Information, Nigeria Union of Journalists, Nigeria Association of Women Journalists, Winners Church, and neighbors all gathered to attend the wake keep at her residence in 500 housing units, Lokoja, Kogi State. In an interview with the resident pastor of Living Faith Church, 500 housing units, Olobatoke Stephen appreciated God for the life well spent of late Mrs. Rose, saying that the deceased was a devoted Christian.
She was selfless. She had lived her life serving God and advancing His kingdom. And that is our confidence, that is our joy, because we know she's right with the Lord even as we speak.
He encouraged her children to be of good conduct at all times, as exemplified by their late mother.
The children, like I've always told them, they should be steadfast. Their mother was steadfast. And my prayer for them is that they will serve even more than their mother, in Jesus' mighty name. So, and I believe that their faith is strong, because we've spoken to them time and again and again. And we know that the same grace that had helped their mom will also help them. And we trust God that their destinies, nothing will cut short.
The first son of the deceased, Sylvester Ochola, said his mother was a caring and understanding woman whose vacuum cannot be filled.
My relationship with my mother goes beyond just mother-son relationship. She was my confidant. She was my best friend. In fact, we discuss anything before she makes any decision. She runs it, or she runs them by me. So it came as a rude shock to the family. So you heard the testimonies, and so it only means one thing, that the good legacy mom left behind is something not just the sons or the children should emulate, but anyone that has ever come across her. So she was a peace-loving person. She was a gentle soul. And she loves sharing, most importantly.
Speaking with the landlord, Agada said the late Rose was a mother to all and described her as a hard-working woman who never gave up, even when things were rough for her.
Me and mommy who have been living in this compound for many years now. And by the grace of God, he has been a mommy to us in the compound and mommy to all, even the neighborhood. He has been so kind, so faithful, so caring, so supportive.
A family member, Uchola Justina, now ward chairman, and members of the ministry where she worked till her last breath, Kogi State Government House Information Officer Monisola Ayelabowo, said late Rose Uchola took everybody as a family and maintained peace and unity among them.
She's a nice woman. She also making peace with everybody without her own daughter. She's taking adults, taking children also as her own daughter, as her own family. She's making peace with everybody.
Yes, we're both at the local government secretariat as information officers. So that was where I knew her from. We both left Ibaji to come and work with the state, and we continue our job here. So she has been a close sister. More so, we are from the same place. I want to tell the children most especially that they should take solace in Christ. Sister Rose was a Christian. When I mean a Christian, a good one. She abides by the ethics of the Bible. She was a Christian. In fact, she gave her life to Christ in a selfless service. She served God selflessly. In fact, she donated her life to the service of God.
She's very quiet. She's an easygoing, gentle woman. And she has a very good heart. She relates to everyone like her own. We will miss her greatly. She is my sister in information. She's a PRO too. We don't know when we shall be called home. So everyone should be the brother's keeper, be everybody's friend, so that at the end, good things will be said about you.
The Senior Special Assistant to Governor Yahya Bello on electronic media, Avoy Nwogu, said late Rose was a friend and sister who cares for all. She advised the children to be good ambassadors in their society.
Few years I've known her to be a very open person. I've known her to be a very committed woman. I've known her to be a very friendly fellow. I just wish the children should take after their mom, going closer to God. Truly, without mother, it's painful because I happen to have that experience also. My mom died just like maybe at that age. It was tough to cope. And by God's grace, here I am today. I pray they will live beyond the years the mother lived, and they will always be a better people in the society. They are men, grown-up men. And the only thing I advise them to give back to their late mother now is to be good ambassadors of the mom, of the community they are from, to be good ambassadors of the young, vibrant youth in the society and Nigeria at large.
It was a sober moment in her hometown, Anawo-Unale, in Ibaji local government area, where she was finally lowered into the earth. Rose Ukwo Ichola was born on 25th April 1967. The 55-year-old Rose Uchola was a journalist until her death on the 3rd of September 2022 and was buried on 16th December 2022. Joshua Adenoy reporting for MLC TV.
And that's the size of our package today. Join us tomorrow at this same hour to watch our news as we give you updates on happenings within and across the globe. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel MLC TV, like and follow our Facebook page MLC TV, Instagram MLC TV 2021, Twitter at MLC TV1. For your event coverage, information, contribution, advert and sponsorship, please call any of our numbers displayed on your screen. Join us Friday and Saturday to watch our special programs. It's Malachi TV, reaching everywhere, informing everyone. I am Matthias Ayodeji Peter. Please continue to be your brother's keeper to build a united and peaceful society together. Have a wonderful weekend.